Hi everyone, Joe here. Well, I think most of us are always looking for a way to be mindfully awake so that we can experience everything and have a wonderful source of deep feeling of well-being. Even when the Buddha, when he was asked who or what he was, he said, "I am awake." So we all want to be awake, awake to the wonders, awake to wonderful ideas, awake to experiences and feelings and senses. So back in 2007, Dr. Norman Farb from the University of Toronto did research and what he discovered was that the brain literally has two different circuits. And these are analog, and so they operate in inverse proportion. It's just kind of like the old scales, the kind that you see that are on logos for legal companies and legal corporations. So that if you put something in one side, it goes down, and the other side goes up and is virtually unusable. Well, so this is what happens with the brain. When that one circuit is used, the other becomes less active. So we have one that's very active and less active. And when the other one becomes active, the other one then becomes less active. So they aren't used at the same time. So this is a very, very interesting discovery. And Dr. Farb named the first circuit the narrative circuit. And this is the part of the brain that is associated with memory. And so we call on that for anything that we're using, like even recalling talking to a friend, or recalling someone in our family, or going back in the past and going into the future. So this is the circuit that most of us use most of the time. And when it's used correctly, it's very good for planning and for goal setting and for strategizing. So it is very, very useful. And again, it's the part that most of us use most of the time. The second circuit is the direct experience circuit. And this is more of the inner feelings of the inner body. And so these go interior. And when this part is utilized, there is a feeling, there's a deep sense of well-being, and we look at things much more in a feeling or sensory portion. And so we find that our minds are much more flexible, and we aren't relying on habits as we would in the narrative circuit, for instance. And so when most people feel a really deep sense of well-being and satisfaction and actually fulfillment too. So this then absolutely is called an awakening. So in the research, the awakening is actually unconditional to exterior events. It's totally interior. And so an awakening makes us feel this wonderful sense of well-being and satisfaction and fulfillment. And that is the awakening. So in order to, as a result, if you want this in your life, so you would have this deep sense of well-being, you will have much more flexibility, you'll be able to, I think, even attain your goals in a much better fashion, because you're acting from the interior part, where all the senses are, where you have that connection with the infinite mind as well. So stay tuned to the next video, where we will be discussing maybe some ways where you can attain this awakening. In the meanwhile, start thinking about how do you switch from one circuit to the other. And can you do it mindfully? Maybe, maybe not. It is something that you probably just allow to happen when you feel that sense of well-being internally. So take care, go make it a great day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.